How's it going, guys? Hope everyone's doing well this week. We got our third video of the year coming out. This one, I don't have a guest picker on with me, so it'll be just myself. I'm not giving any picks this week. I'm in the game of the week versus Fisher. So my dad is going to be doing that, along with Mark Hudson will be our guest picker this week. So this week, I'm just going to cover some random stuff for around the league. This will be a shorter video, as you guys can see. So the three things we're going to cover this week, we're going to cover the playoff picture, we're going to cover our booms and busts of the years in terms of players in the league, and then we're going to start doing a segment at week 9 every year where we're going to pick one team that has just not had a good year, and we're going to invite that team to the pit of misery. And at this point, it's basically saying you have no shot of making the playoffs. It's over. You need to start looking forward to next year. It's lights out. So each week, moving forward to the end of the season, which will eliminate 5 teams from here to there, those are going to be the teams that go to the pit of misery each week. So I guess we're going to look and see who those teams will be. All right, starting with the playoff picture. So we got 5 games to go left in the season right now. No one is mathematically eliminated. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through and assign each team a scale of 1 to 10 on how likely I think they are to make the playoffs. So we're going to start off at the top. We're going to talk about Don and Connie. When I look at those two guys, I think they have a great shot of making the playoffs. I've said at the beginning of the year, I think 8 wins was going to be the magic number on a 13-game season with no byes. I think that guarantees you in. I think 7 may get you in. So they're only sitting at 1 win away from 8. I think there's a good chance they both pick up 10 wins on the year. I don't know if they'll get quite to that 11-win mark, but we'll see. So I think they have a 9.5 out of 10 chance of making the playoffs. Next, I'm going to group me, Evan, and Kaylee all into the category of a 7.5 out of 10. I feel pretty good about all of our chances of making the playoffs. I think we all have strong teams. Our teams are on the higher scoring end of the league. There's been some injuries that both teams have been battling through. Hopefully those are all cleared up come the playoff stretch for these teams. One out of us, though, I think Evan has a nice advantage with the fact that he only has one team left to play that has an above 500 record, and that's going to be Don in week 12 in the battle of the secondary rivals. So he's going to be going head-to-head there, but his other 2 games are against 2 teams that have 1 win and then 2 teams that are only 500. So he's looking like he actually has a pretty good shot of getting in. I think mine and Kaylee's teams are talented enough to get in. Zach, I have him at a 6 out of 10. He has 3 to 4 wins left on his schedule. He wins. It just depends. This week he's in a tight battle with Kaylee, so we'll see how that plays out. She's sitting at 5 and 3. He's 4 and 4, so a lot on the line here, battling for the playoff position. Karthik, I would give a 4 out of 10 chance of making the playoffs. I think he's going to be the 7 seed and the 1 left out. I think there's only 2 to 3 wins left on the schedule for him. I just think he has a tough stretch down the end. Rachel, I'm going to give a 3.5 out of 10. She probably has only 1 to 2 wins left on the year for her. I mean, she could pick up an extra one. It's fantasy. You never know what's going to happen. But her last 5 games are against the top 5 teams in the league. That's not what you want when you're trying to squeak into a playoff spot. Derek, I'm going to give him a 3 out of 10. He only has 1 team below 500 left on the schedule for him, which is not easy. Calvin, I'm going to have to give him a 2 out of 10 chance. He had a close chance last week to pick up a win, wasn't quite able to get it done against Zach. That would have helped him out. It's looking pretty grim. And lastly, I'm going to have to give Jake and Mark a 0.2 out of 10 chance. You're not technically mathematically eliminated, is why the only reason it's not 0, but it's not looking good for you guys. I'm sorry. It's just, this might be the end of the road. Moving on, booms and busts of the year. So I'm going to go through each one of the main positions and just give out who's the boom and the bust at each one of them. So let's start off with the booms. We're going to start at quarterback. It's going to be Lamar Jackson. He was taken in the 7th round, pick 7, and he's now sitting at QB2 on the year. I don't know if he's going to be able to keep this up down the stretch, but so far he's had a great first half of the season. Karthik drafted him. Great draft choice there. Eckler, he is the running back boom of the year for me. You know, he was taken in the 8th round, pick 6, and he's sitting at RB6. And for most of the season, until Melvin Gordon came back, he was sitting at RB3. So, well, I thought he was going to do good. He even exceeded those expectations. For wide receiver, I think we're looking at Cooper Kupp. I mean, he was taken all the way back in the 10th round by Connie, pick 5. So he's a wide receiver too, which I was expecting him to have a bounce back year, but not quite to this level. At tight end, it has to be Waller. He was taken in the 15th round, pick 7. Only 5 picks left after that in the draft. Going into the bust, well, Karthik took the boom as a draft pick and quarterback with his 2nd round pick in pick 7. He took Baker Mayfield, who's now sitting at QB 25 and who he fleeced Calvin in a trade. Well, we're not going to say fleeced, but one of the teams is still having the quarterback they traded for. The other one had to cut him. So we can call it what we want. Probably didn't work out well for Cal. So Baker is going to be the bust there at QB 25. Mixon, that's who Calvin has. So between him getting Baker and drafting Mixon with the 2nd round pick 12, it kind of explains his rough year coming off trying to defend the title. He's sitting at running back 28, which is definitely a massive disappointment on the year with where you drafted him at and what you expected from him. Wide receiver, it has to be Juju. You know, Connie, just like Karthik, killed it on his boom for the wide receiver position, but blew it on the bust. Juju is taken in that 1st round, pick 5 as a keeper by Connie. It confused me when he did it, but I said, hey man, whatever you want, I don't care. He is the wide receiver 27. There's no way when you're the first wide receiver taken off the board and you're behind 26 other wide receivers that your owner is going to be happy with you, and that's why you got cut and someone else picked you up. Could have a good bounce back down the back half of the year. Who knows? I wouldn't count on it, but remains to be seen. We know Zach's hoping so, and I guess now so is Evan that he has him. O.J. Howard is definitely the tight end bust. Dude was taken 10 rounds ahead of Waller and is 33 position ranks behind him at tight end 36, which is really impressive considering he's the starting tight end. Honorable mentions for bust. I'm going to go with luck. He retired, but I mean, you drafted him to be a top 6 quarterback, and that he's not. AB, yeah, he definitely screwed Rachel by just going completely haywire this year. Gurley with injuries has been disappointing, and I would have to say so as OBJ. That's probably tied into Baker. All right, so starting this week with Halloween right around the corner, it's officially what they call a spooky season these days in college. We're all past that, but in honor of it being nightmarish, the season this guy's had, I'm going to extend this guy the first ever, it's over, eternal lock, cannot be wrong, lights out, stone cold, slap your mother twice on Sunday, invite to the pit of misery. And this week, it goes to Mark Hudson. Sorry, Mark, I hate to do this to you. But Mark started the year off with a win against Zach, and you know he had to be happy with that. But since then, it's gone downhill. 7 straight losses. Lost last week by 2 points in the most brutal fashion with the Dolphins up 14-0. He had to have happen was them not lose by more than 9. Cost Mark, he lost by 2 points. You know, losses like that are the reasons why people are like, how do I keep doing this to myself? I've had those losses. They are miserable. So I guess that's what happens when you have one team that's in a full-on tank. You can't count on them, but a 27-point swing, and that's how you end up 1-7. He's 22-37 overall. He had that great run to make meet Zach up in the title game where he lost, unfortunately, to his son, which I'm sure he's had to hear about a time or two. Mark, I tried to offer you a trade, but you didn't respond. I was going to help you with your rebuild for next year. Looks like you didn't want that offer. I wish the best for you, Mark. We love you. You know, I always remember that fun memory going to that UT Vandy game okay, yeah, it was fun for me, not for you guys. Never mind. Anyways, Mark, you're an awesome guy. I wish the best for you moving forward. You know, and maybe you'll have a QB that doesn't get hurt every week. Who knows? Maybe that's wishful thinking. All right. Well, hey, we'll do another one of these next week. Hint, it might be a team that is not doing too hot either that has 1 win, but we'll wait and see. So, all right, guys, enjoy the game. Looks like it's going well for Kittle, Garoppolo, and Sanders. And now Rita's breaking off a long run. Looks like things are going south for the Cardinals. So hopefully everyone has a good weekend, and I'll see you next week.